time and welcome. Our story today centers around Fred Roof and some work he did during the 2009 Christmas decorations trip. Tommy Hogshead interviews.
Today we're talking to Fred Roof of Atlanta, Georgia, and thank you, Fred, for joining us today.
I had a special assignment with the chain link fence that goes on the separates the men's section and the women's section, and we were given fabric which didn't work. So I went into town and put a party, found a yard goods stores, obtained some fabrics, and then I had some help from a California young lady that had ideas on how we could pleat it in a proper way. And we worked for a couple of days just pre-rolling and pre-preparing that so we would have the ability to then execute this properly. And so then the first part we did the garlands. The last day we did the chain link fence and had some wonderful helpers with me, and we accomplished this. It took us about one evening, the evening of the 24th, it took us 4 hours to get it all done.
This is really an enormous project, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It's very well. It was very well organized and orchestrated. We did proper preparation. Come the afternoon of Christmas, we decided to again just line up with those people that would get the privilege of chair seating. And so when the gentleman saw it, so I don't know if I can accommodate you today. Yesterday was a different story, but stay to the side. And there was a gentleman that came by that we found out was in charge of the chair seating. And he looked at us, and he looked and he saw decoration. He says, "Are you responsible? Are you responsible for decoration?" Yes, we were. He says, "You come see me once we're inside." And when we entered later on, after waiting inside, he says, "I'm going to treat you. You have first row seat for the wonderful job you all did." And so Donna Monica and I were sitting in front, and here we have this Christmas service, and Swami's right in front of us, maybe 50 yards away, but we have this amazing unobstructed view. And before I know, Tom, who was the organizer in charge of the decoration, and Sudhakar, our president from Atlanta Center, come to me and say, "Fred, how would you like to sit on the veranda today? We'd like to have a few more non-Indian people up there." And I said, "I really appreciate the offer, but my seating is so beautiful here. I'm sorry, I have to decline the invitation." 20 minutes later, they come back and said, "Fred, we got a different proposition for you. Nagesh has been asked to do the art in front of Swami this afternoon. How about joining him?" And I said, "Oh boy, that's a huge honor. I'm not going to decline that." And so then I left the seating and I proceeded to join Nagesh on the steps to the veranda where we sat. And it was soon Swami came, and literally we were 7 to 10 feet away from Swami. And before we know it, though, we had a bunch of students that came and crowded us, and there was a photographer. But thank goodness I was able to keep when Swami looked my way to where I was, I could see his eyes, the front of his face looking my way. And so after speeches were made, telling how Nagesh had this dream that he would do the decoration in for Christmas, and they told the whole story, and that's the reason, I guess, that's one of the reasons why he was asked to do Artie. And there were another speech made by another person, and then later on, Swami did a discourse. And every time Swami looked my way, I could feel his eyes pierce into my eyes, deep into my soul. It was an incredible feeling, just to be one with him. It was just amazing. And so the speech was made, and before you know it, came time to Artie, to do Artie, and I joined Nagesh, and we did the Artie. And I know this is one of the very, very big highlights of my life, having done Artie in front of Swami on that day. It was just such a joyous moment for me.
Right on.